Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on Dungeons and Patterns. It's a role-playing game, originally live action, now written in Elm, and we're almost to the end. So what we have left to do is, well, three things really, not just two. But one is we've got some tests that need to be improved. We want to get this thing deployed, and then I need to do some just general cleanup on the game and making sure I've got the right pictures and the right text and maybe some reformatting and stuff. So probably either today or next time we'll finish this thing. And then I'll probably publish it to the world in February. I usually send a big message the first week of the month, so I'll probably do that then. All right, let's go over to the IDE. Let me rework this a little, pause this, and set that over here. Gives a little more room. Okay, so we did a lot of refactorings last time, and there's one I still want to tackle. I don't know, it's not a critical one, but I think it's a sign to me there's something still not quite right in how we're doing stuff. So let's go to message test. Can I do this? No. Okay. Message test. All right. Well, what I see in message test is I've got a lot of setup, and let's go down to the tests themselves. I don't think the tests are so tricky, but they all rely on particular models. Okay. And the trick or the challenge I see, it's like getting a model set up correctly for a test like this. It really is a very high level test. It's not quite a UI test per se, but it's like the highest level interaction comes through this message object. And so we have some pretty complete, rooms and stuff going on. So our update method takes, let's find message here. Update takes a message and a model, and it produces a model and a command. Okay, so update, it's got a message and then a model. And the model is what I want to see if we can make a little different. Okay, so let's see the usage. Model with visited room gets used by model with solved room, and model with observer puzzle, and model with answer puzzle, and model with order puzzle. Okay, and model with combo puzzle. Okay, so I guess model with visited room is pretty basic. Let's see default model. Okay. Interestingly, okay, the default model, it has the room. It claims we're in the room, but we've never visited this room yet. Okay, so that's actually I don't know if I want to say it's a lie, but it's certainly misleading. I think the honest thing to do would be to say that this really contains room. So our default model should be a current room that's been visited. And it won't hurt to rewrite it, but let's see what breaks, because there's probably stuff that relies on the fact that the room wasn't there. There might not be, but if there is, I want to know about it. Okay, so do I have tests running? Yes. All right, we'll do a save. Okay, tests are still running. Okay, so now I can look at these models. All right, I'm going to look at a bunch of tests. Model tests at least. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, so this one changes visited. That's fine. Current. Okay, I'm not saying anybody just add a room. So I think that's probably okay. All right, but it does mean these now. My default model already looks like this. It's got visited equals set.room. So I'm going to substitute this in manually, I guess. I don't see a good way to, you can't really inline that. So model with visited room. Okay. And let's see if anybody else expects it to be there. Oh yeah. Okay, well this is now default model. What did I miss? Okay, so we can take this out and save. It should pass. Okay. Now, what else we got? We got a model with a solved room. Okay, so that's a little different than the default. Solved starts out empty. Room with observer. Okay, this is the kind of one I think I want to change. So, yeah, so putting in a puzzle so I can check what happens with this kind of puzzle, I have to build a new room, and then I have to put the room in the game, and then once I have it in the game, I can put it in the model, and that's what I want to simplify. Okay, so I think I just need a helper function that you give me a model, and I will put this in the room. Okay. And actually, would I even... Maybe I want model with puzzle. Or, yeah, maybe with puzzle, model and puzzle. Would that work okay? I don't even need to pass the model. I mean, it's the default model. Model with puzzle. Model. How are we going to do this? Let's just define the function here. Okay, so the bottom line is we're trying to get this and whatever it takes to get that. Okay, so do we reference this again? That's probably the real question. We do. Well, that's the same. Okay, it's going to take a little work to get that out, but we can do it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I want to say I want a model with, maybe it's default model with, and it takes a puzzle and it produces a model. Okay, so default model with. Sorry, one sec. All right. Default model with takes a puzzle. It equals. Okay, so we're almost going to do the same thing. We're going to say let room with puzzle equals this. And this is puzzle. in. Okay. And then in the end, I'm going to default model where game equals game with puzzle, right, which I haven't defined yet. Okay, so the room with the puzzle is that. The game with the puzzle is this. Default game, dictionary list, and room with puzzle. Okay, and then game with puzzle, model with puzzle. Okay, I think that's all right. So now I want to find somebody using model with observer puzzle, and I want to pass this instead. Okay, so model with observer puzzle. Model with observer puzzle. Okay, so I want to, well, I'm going to pass this, which to model with, default model with. And I think I may have to parenthesize that. Okay, does that work? Yes, okay. So that was model with observer puzzle. Well, okay, not a great name, but okay, so we expect that to equal the same thing, but with a bunch of state, excuse me, added. So let me make this a let. In model pipe to that, and then I want to say model where state equals. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing here. It's model with observer puzzle is this. Model equals that. In this becomes model. Let's see if that saves. Okay, and then down here I can do the same thing. Model where state equals that. Okay. Okay, it looks like that's the only use now. Model with observer puzzle is no longer used. And game with observer puzzle still is used. Let's find usages. Default model equals game with the, oh, well, that's what we had already. So let's let model equal model equals that. In model that. Okay, and then model down here, if we use model again, we've already got game with observer puzzle in our stuff. Okay, same thing here. this, and then down here is just model. Okay. And I'm hoping that's all. I see a yellow line, so that's a good sign. Okay. And now room with observer puzzle is no longer used. Okay. Oh, that's better. Nicer, nicer, nicer. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing with model with answers puzzle. Okay. It is default model with game equals that with answer puzzle. So all that is going to boil down to default model with this stuff. Okay, so model with answers puzzle. All right, so we'll say let model equals default model with this stuff in model good. Okay, model with answers puzzle, we'll take the whole thing here. The model equals that. Now this is model with state, and this is model again. Okay, now this is game with answers puzzle. Again, I think we've done that with this model with. Okay, has the game with the answers puzzle. So this can be model. And the game with answers puzzle is redundant again. This is model. And game is redundant. Okay. Model game equals answer puzzle and model. Okay. Update this on default model. Okay. We should have some. All right, game with model with answers puzzle is no longer used. Game with answers puzzle is no longer used. Room with answers puzzle is no longer used. Yeah, I should have spotted this a while back, huh? Okay, room with order puzzle. Well, here's the order puzzle. All right, let's find model with order puzzle. Whoops. I think that's that. That's lovely to have the IDE do the work there, isn't it? Okay. Model with combo, we'll let model equal default. That in model, this becomes model. Save that. All right. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is more expressing what I was after with those. And I really disliked that you had to kind of go, I don't know, go all over the place looking for these things, and you know, it made the test harder to understand because you got these 9 or 10 things and most of it you didn't care about. Now there's something that's still going on here. Now model, oh, this is solved. Okay, who calls that? It is called I think I'd like to inline that one. Model with solved room. Okay, this is default model because I had solved equals set from list, but now I'm going to reset it up to empty. So there's no value in doing that again. Okay, now this isn't used. Great. Okay, refactor to help with desired puzzle. Yes. And that's today. Okay, let's check that in. Okay. Deploy the game and make sure it works. Okay, this is we're going to start with some research. Well, let's run it. Sorry, that's am I not running? 8,000. Okay, and we were in source main. Oh, we messed up. Dungeon. Starting room 1A. Okay. So we'll reload this. Guess refresh this. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now I'm looking. I'm just trying to see if anything looks horrible. Okay. And I'm gonna. Well, I'm just gonna write it on some paper. Okay. So the spacing seems okay-ish. We can do some actions. That's a little tight, but okay. And we'll say this looks like prototype. Okay, so that opens some doors. Let's take this one. Okay, so this elf in a booth, the picture is just too big. Let's see, we can kind of track along. Okay, that's 1B gold, 1B, picture too big. Now what I've noticed is when I update a picture, they don't seem to update directly. Something's going on with it. Okay, but the rest of this looks okay. All right, this one I think is okay. Visitor decorator. All right, we can go back here. We can go to the next room. All right, I'm just looking. Picture next room. This one's a little big. It's the man with the ear horn. One E. Okay. Right. I guess we're gonna have to guess it. I don't know if that adapter. Okay. Now we got a hallway with some rooms we haven't seen. Okay, this is composite. We can go back to the hallway. It's a little big, but not terrible. If you're going to be solving these, I'm sorry, I'm messing it up for you. Potions is okay. Let's call that a template method. A new hallway. Okay, this is 1J. Now, okay, I'm puzzled here. 1J. Yeah, so the picture has a line on the bottom and a 1J on the top. But if I look what I have in here, well, I have a line on the bottom and okay, that one I haven't done, I guess. But I've had times where I've changed the picture here and I don't get anything, I don't get an improvement, which I find puzzling. All right, let's work our way back. No exits otherwise, so I have to do something. I've got two hallways. Let's make sure that's actually right. 1J. Oh yeah, we can't tell the hallways apart really, so okay, we're back here. I know I want to get back to my doorway down. All right, we've solved enough puzzles. We can go down to the next level. That seems good. You go down, you see two doors. Okay, composite. That's another hallway. The furry monster. Okay, 2M. I think I saw a line on the bottom, right? I don't know where that comes from. It was hand drawn and then scanned, and I don't know. Any other doors? Yes. Okay. Looks all right. Looks all right. There's a way down. Okay. Oh, this one's got lines. This is our combo puzzle, 2F. All right, in the pattern, we'll say decorator, get a hallway with one open room. 2K has the name and a line. Goes to 2 new rooms. I guess we have to solve it. Forwards request to a component, optionally adding behavior before or after. Well, that's sort of decorator. I have to get them all 3 right. Don't have access to the subsystem. That's a facade. Routing request between operator is mediator. Yeah, okay. Oh, and nothing else opened. Bummer. All right, but this room has lines too, so let's find collaboration. (2G). All right, back to it. Oops. Back to over here. Any open doors? We don't know. The robots. Golems. 2L. Okay, no doors. Wait a minute. I seem to be in a loop. Okay. Let's see what's going on there. Okay, 2L goes to 2K. Oh, I didn't solve that one. Think abstract factory. A new hallway. Strategy. Okay, I'm expecting more. What am I missing? Okay, level 2. Stairs, the bowl, the portcullis. 2C. I think the hallways. Oh wait, room 2A goes to 2C. I don't know if I have to get all the way back. I do. Okay, so this one we have to move things up and down. Oh. Well, I don't really want to move that, but notify get state. Okay, observer 1 does a set state. That tells the subject to notify itself. Then the subject does an update. No, that's down. Update. Okay. Update get state, update get state. Okay. The door opens and takes me in here. Why doesn't that take me back to the portcullis? All right, let's find our map from way back when. Level 2C goes to 2D. And 2D isn't even a secret room, so 2D should have a 2C in it. Does it? 2D tokens. No, it doesn't. All right, so the map was a little trickier than we had to be. Okay. All right, so what I have is a list of corrections to make on the images. I don't know if there's value in watching me redraw pictures of images. Kind of doubting it. I think we got everything on level 1. Did we do hotel? Yeah. Which one was hotel? 1H. I missed that on my list. J, okay. Stairs, that all look good. That's okay. Arrows, I don't think we reference anymore. Yeah, let's look for 2C-arrow. Right. Let's delete this. Tokens. We have some. Trying to drop some of the more sexist language there. Okay. Okay, yeah. Some cleanup. Yeah, we saw that one. Okay. I don't know, can I close all these at once? Tabs in group. Okay. All right, let's take a break. Just 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll come back and start doing what we got to do to deploy things. I think I'll do this, like I said, save the editing for later, and I'm sure I'll have some other stuff to do offline, but we can at least research and do the deployment. See you in 2 or 3 minutes. Hi, welcome back. All right, let's see what we got to do to get this thing running. I guess we're going to start up at the top of Elm Lake. I don't think I need the language. Next steps. Elm to HTML or JavaScript. Okay. Create an optimized JavaScript file to embed in a custom HTML document. Well, I don't really need that. Run this on your main Elm. Okay, so Elm makes source main Elm. All right, so let's see where I am here. I see source main, not Elm. Okay, so I should be able to do that. Let's see. I don't have an index. Oh, I do have an index.html. Index.html was built October 30th. Okay, so nothing I've been actually doing. Okay, index.html. Now, okay, if I open it, I don't know. Yeah. Network error, no further information, game over. All right, I think the problem is I'm not deployed. All right, let's look at the source on this though. Now, yeah, so it's got all the Elm stuff just in the file. Compiled in dev mode for better performance and smaller assets. Okay, well that's good to know. A lot of Elm implementation. This may be something I should have been doing all along. It wouldn't be easier to debug if it was just one thing. All right. I mean, something has to be relevant to mine, so I got to be finding images somewhere, right? Images unknown.gif. Only in one place. How is that possible? All right, so if I put this file somewhere my browser can do something with it. All right, I do have, let me make a new folder. Experimental. Okay, so I'm going to upload a file. Sorry, I didn't do my Twitch. Okay, now, can I navigate to it? Yeah. Okay, desktop, Twitch, DNP, index.html. Okay, and so theoretically, if I go xp123.com/dnp-exp, oh, okay. What happens here? Oh, I saw something go by. You're stuck. Yeah. Okay, so it's not picking up my images. Okay. It would have been so nice if it's like, okay, it works, let's go. Yikes. All right, what's going on? Bad status. Response received with error code 404. Well, what that tells me is it probably doesn't know where to find my dungeon JSON, right? Because That's in here. Let's see. We looked at the source. Let's find JSON. JSON error, JSON string, JSON. Lots of JSON-y stuff. Stuff I wasn't even using. Let's look for dungeon. Okay. Now when this runs in the folder, oops. Hey, we're doing Elm. So it's a functional language with static data types, and elmlang.org is its home. It's been interesting. This is kind of my biggest project and probably first completed or semi-completed one. But basically everything's an expression or a function, and some neat little things to it. So it's been a good project for it. All right. Let's list this. So next to the index, let's source. Okay, we probably need to pull JSON dungeon.json over is my guess. Okay, so let's go. I guess we can keep going here. Select this file. Source dungeon.json. Okay. We'll reload this. Hey, oh, that's progress. Okay. The room has a box in it. The box has a button. Okay. I have no CSS showing, so I know I got to load up a CSS file. It means I don't know much about packaging, I guess. I need to work on that. Okay, so DNP.css. Reload again. Okay. Our images are off, but we're making progress. Okay, let's go back. We need to go back and find the images. So it looks like it's running in the same directory with things. So let's try to see what I have to do. It doesn't look like I have an unzip, unfortunately. So let's make, what directory are we in? That's not right. There's stuff in there now. Well, that's not right either. DNP experimental. Okay, we got those. Let's make another folder, images. And we'll open that and do some uploads. It looks like I can drag and drop multiple files. So let me see what I can do there. All right, this is in Twitch under desktop. DNP. Well, there's my images. These are all GIFs, so I'll just take them directly. Okay, I don't know what's in 2C. Oh, I'll have to get that folder too. Okay, but these are GIFs. Okay. Alrighty. And I want to go back. And I want to make a directory 2C. upload. Go back up. Make another folder. All these files. That one's junk. Can I do that? No. Upload. Okay, go back. All right, I think we may be set. Hard reload. Okay. That is good. Prototype. All right, and we can see. I'm happy. That wasn't so bad. All right. Now, it was not automatic. And this is, I mean, I know stuff can be done in IntelliJ, and I just don't know how to do it. What I would like... I mean, all this stuff... Okay. Let's look at that index file again. Okay, there was some... Yeah, compiled in dev mode. Follow the advice here. I mean, I don't know how terrible that is. How big is that index file? $196K. Okay, I guess that could be smaller. Let's see what they say. I'll do it here. Compile with the optimized flag. You have elm.js. Well, I don't really care about that. Right. I think what I'd like to do... Well, I don't mind if it's a shell command. Well, let's capture what we've got so far. To deploy, go back a ways here. We did this. Well, we did it for real somewhere down here. Okay. Puts index.html in the current directory. Copy index.html to website main folder. Well, Then we copied dungeon.json. And we copied DNP.css to website. I guess I can compress this a little. P-dots. Okay. I think that reflects what we did. Let's see what we got. Things. Okay, so this is in source slash and source slash. Okay. What do we have? Maybe that command belongs up here. DNP source. Okay, so if we make to deploy, and let's edit. I think I'm on Z Shell these days. Yeah. Let's edit. What would you call this? It's not deploy. Package. Is it pound exclamation? I always mix these up. Okay, and now I'm just going to take my commands from here. I'll make. Let's make sure that does the right thing. I want to be quite so drastic. I always do RF. Tend to remove the files without prompting. Okay, let's say we copied it. All right, let's to deploy prev. Move to deploy to deploy prev. Okay. Now we did the make, and let's copy. We need index.html to deploy. Probably most important, dungeon.json to deploy. What else did we say? Index dungeon distance images. cp -r source/images to deploy. Okay, let's try that. Do I have to say there's a shill on there? Okay, so we got the images and the 2C and the 2F. Okay. DNP dungeon images. Okay, so let's do it again. This time I should get this stuff moved over to deploy prev. Oh. What? Where am I? Okay. Alrighty. I don't know. I go back and forth if I want the deployment stuff in there or not. Let's check in. Let's check in what we have over here. So this was, whoops, how many are to do? Minor cleanup of files, image files. I'm not sure if that'll include everything or not. Looks like it did. Okay, no biggie. Oh, let's see. Get status. Cool. All right. So now we got to update our directions. How do I want to say this? CD. Do I just give this folder for now? And we just execute our package.c shell, which does all these steps. Okay, so I try and leave myself some clues because I'm not always good at this stuff. All right. Now I wish, like in the old days, you could FTP stuff and automatically send it and all that. I tried setting up a server command, connecting as a server, and I just can't make that work with my combination of Mac and security and publishing service and all that stuff. And so I'm reduced to logging into HostGator and doing it manually. Yeah, I just don't see anything that would do it there. There's probably a way I could zip it up and then upload it and then find some other tool that, in their standard tools, they probably got an unzip package. Annoying. All right. I think we kind of hit the end there. I've got these image things to do, and I've got some work to put in pages around an opening and closing page, basically, which I'm going to do in WordPress. I think we'll take a break. Okay, and call this the official end of development, and now we're into packaging and game design and that kind of thing. So we'll take a 2 or 3 minute break. I'll come back and I guess I will start working on these images and get them improved. Some more similar sizes, get rid of the little junk around the edges and the lines around the edges, and create those 2 pages. And like I said, I'll make this public in a couple of weeks when I'm had a chance to kind of verify it and stuff. But we've done a pretty good job. So tell you what, we'll take a break. We'll walk it through kind of top to bottom on the code just to kind of summarize that. And then I'll do this more manual stuff that's not coding, and you can hang out or not. It's up to you. All right. So I'll see you in 2 or 3 minutes. Hi, welcome back. All right, so let's just take a tour, and I'll skip the tests, I think, but we'll focus on the source. So with an Elm program, they, I don't know how much you have to do this, but the sort of standard way is called the Elm Architecture, and it's a basic way of representing, it's kind of like model view controller kind of thing, basically. It's a way to divide up the work between the various parts. And so let's start at the model. And I think we'll just walk through the high level of the objects first and then come back around and do some details on it. So the idea with the model is that you're representing the full state of everything you need to know what's going on with this thing right now. So rather than normally in an object-oriented program that might be distributed all over the place and you read files and load this part and do this and load that part. In Elm, we put that all in one big object, or I guess you'd call it an object, a record type kind of thing. And in this case, we have this dungeon. So it's got the current room, the list of rooms we've already visited, the state, which is the puzzles and what's going on there. So if you select a wrong answer and you come back to the room, it's got the same wrong answer selected. We have the solutions. So which rooms have you solved? And then we have the game, which we read from this dungeon.json. Let me pull that thing up. Dungeon. Dungeon.json. Oh, it's in the source. Okay. That's this big JSON file that, well, moderately big. And it's got some more information. So this is the static structure of the game. We have these rooms with each room has a picture and a description. Okay, so let's go to the one we see all the time. The room for 1A has a picture of a box, and then it's got a description, and then it's got a dialogue. The puzzle is a dialogue puzzle. So there's a dialogue, and then you guess the answer. So you can say, shake the box, and the system will say, oh, nothing happens. You say my name, clever, how about guessing, and so on. At the end of the room, you can see the exits, and if you guess the thing right, you get hidden exits. So in this case, there are no regular exits, and you can't leave the room until you solve the puzzle. So eventually you'll guess prototype, and it'll open up the door for 1G, which we'll just skip forward there. 1G is the image with keyholes. You see a door on the floor. There's no puzzle, but there are exits, and there's a way down to room 2A. So that's how you do the levels in the dungeon. All right, so the model has all this information, all the stuff the user's done, and the game itself. Okay, the key function here is actually the simple one, init, that says create. What's the starting model? Okay, and in our case, we say, okay, there's one room, you have visited it. That's the next parameter. There's no state, there's no solutions, and the game is the default game, which is going to be something with one room that's unknown. Okay, but this init gets used. Let's go up to, well, the next piece of it is probably view, and view at the very top level of view says, the core function, I'm going to call you whenever the state, whenever I want to display things, I'm going to call the view function. I'm going to give it the model. So the architecture tracks the current model. I'm going to give it the model, and you produce the HTML. Okay. And the message type we'll look at in a minute. But basically it's saying produce the HTML. And all this code, you can see divs and texts and, images and so on. All that code is saying if the model is like this, produce the image or produce the HTML. And the nice thing here is we're not trying to coordinate, like we're not responsible for how did the model change and all that stuff. That's all done in the Elm Architecture side. Okay, but we have the view function that does that. Now, the message part basically corresponds to commands. So we have a number of commands that the user can do. They can load the game, which happens automatically at the first. They can go to a room, they can change the level, they can do an action, move up, move down, whatever, and do game over. Each of those commands, there's a core function here is update. Update says if you give me a message, one of those messages, and the model I started with, I'll give you the new model and optionally a command that you can execute. Okay. And in our case, let's see, the only one that's interesting, well, we'll come back to the initial command. It says, get the dungeon.json file and, load the game basically. Okay. All right. And so here, this is this other piece of the Elm architecture. It's like, I get the initial state, the initial model. I display it, and then I wait and see if there's any commands. And if there's a command, I wrap it up in a message, and I pass the message in the model, and it tells me the new model and any other commands to do. And I'll execute those commands with the updated model, and they produce more commands. And eventually somebody says command none. And actually that's probably the most common. Okay. But that gives us the big pattern for model and view. And there's no direct tie-in between the view and the update. It's just sort of the system's responsibility to keep the current model around. And if it tells you to show the current view, you just show the current view. Now, in practice, like the view from one page, let's go to the example here. Okay, let me close all this. All right, so the view here, well, let me get a different room. Okay, the view here, it's got the big image, the text, the headers, and so on. I select this, okay, and conceptually, I execute a command that says, change the slot 0 drop down to decorator. And it updates that, and it comes back with an all new model, and then redraws the HTML based on that all new model. But if you notice this, like most of the HTML is completely identical. The only thing that changes really is, I selected a different item and it records that. So the Elm system, the runtime system, takes care of realizing like, 98% of this page didn't change, so we're not going to redraw it. Okay, but when the parts come in and they do change eventually, something bigger happens. Okay. In this case, notice the doors. I've got 2 doors, decorator, and then this one is probably chain of responsibility. This turned green and I have 3 doors now. So I mentioned the hidden exits. Okay. So, the HTML that came back, it diffed it and said, okay, the name chain of responsibility changed, the color of the box changed, and the extra thing on the bottom, the extra door got in there. Okay. So the Elm architecture deals with all that. And let's go up to main. We'll see all those pieces together. All right. Originally, I had main had all the view, the model, and extracted it out. So browser.element just says, this thing's going to be a web page basically. And how do you initialize it? What's the initialization state, or I guess you could say, and then give it a Lambda function that produces the model, initial state of the model, and the initial command, which was that load the dungeon.json. So we had our bare bones model and the new command. And then we have a view function that's our view and an update function that's our message.update. We're not using subscriptions. Okay. And so given this information, it can call init, get the initial model, run the initial command. That triggers an updated model. So sometimes when we start, you can just see a flash of a question mark that's the unknown model, and that's coming in before because of the initialization. But it gets updated right away when we load the JSON. If we didn't load the JSON, there were an error with that, we would see other stuff. Okay. And then we can call the view after a change in the model, we call the view, and the view has places that say we can trigger updates. And if you click one of them, it triggers an update and takes the current model, not the initial one, but the current one, and manages that. So it all hangs together, which I like. The worries, I guess I'm always allowed to worry, right? But this is not a huge system. It's got 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 commands. Okay. Some of them have parameters. Most of them have parameters. Do all of them have parameters? Okay. All of them have parameters. But that's not a whole lot of commands in a system. Like compare IntelliJ, right? I've got, I don't know, a dozen menu items there, half a dozen there, 15 there, 25 there, 10 there. I mean, each one of these is a message that tells the system to do something. Okay, that's just the menu bar. I've also got, each one of these is clickable. Each one of these is clickable. Each one of these side tabs brings up different stuff, and it's clickable. And all these little tabs around the edges down here, they bring up different stuff. Oh, this one has multiple terminal windows. I can add new ones. I can change their somethings. Who knows? More buttons over here. Text here. Right click. Each one of these. Oh, wait. Some of them have submenus. Do any of our submenus have submenus? Refactor normally would. In Java or Kotlin or something, it would. Okay. And each one of these triggers some dot dot dots, so they trigger whole new screens. Okay. There are a lot of features in here. I would guess hundreds, 500, 1,000 maybe. I don't know. There are a lot. And compared to this, if I think about all of them going through this same message loop or message process, it just seems like that's a lot to get lost in. Even if you just stuck with the main screen here, you've got a lot of, everything on here is clickable. That can be clicked. The breakpoints, the open and close things. It's an IDE is truly a complicated system, and I just don't know where the scaling point is here that would make that feel like it broke. This does remind me very much like the original Macintosh API was kind of like this, that everything went through this central command kind of thing, and you had good sized applications there. I just don't know, conceptually already to me, like there's different, going to a room, change the level. Those are kind of different than actions and guesses and moving, and game over is different too. I just don't know how that would get bundled up. But anyway, okay. Let's take maybe some quick stops in things. I think we'll start with model. So model, you can access and find out each one of these things. We have this get function that lets you go into the game object and find out, whatever your function is applied to the current room. So let's see, I guess game.get, getting the room. Okay, applying the current room in the model and finding the function there. State, patterns, ordering, strings, these are all supporting us looking up different kinds of patterns. We got rid of a fair bit of duplication, but there's still stuff going on here. And this is moderately big. I mean, my instinct is definitely to look and say, like, is there functions we can get rid of or fold together or something here? Maybe there are, but I don't know. There's enough differences. It wasn't obvious to me. Okay. But, you can, if you read the description here, I've got things around combos, things around patterns, things around ordering. I've got things about the state of the room, the exits, can I move down, end of game, and so on. Translating and a little bit of other stuff. It's a pretty good sized module. All right. Now, module contains game. Okay, so let's look at the game side of things. Game's not too big. It knows the starting room, the final page, the minimum number of solutions to change levels, some translation words, and the map. Now, this thing is all mapping to this dungeon. Okay, so up at the top, starting room, final page, main solution. That's all just right there. Same with the translation. And then the map goes from a room name to a room description. All right, so we have functions. We translate. We can get things from the room. We can get all the puzzles, all the answers. And then we can load our JSON file. That's all this stuff. All right, but games contain rooms. Rooms have the image description and so on. There's an unknown room. You're stuck in a mysterious room. An unknown GIF is that question mark. There's no puzzle. So this is just sort of you're stuck. And we can answer, do you have a way down? All right. And then rooms contain puzzles. All right, let's go puzzle. I don't see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Puzzles, again, they come with these multiple types. And this is Elm's way of making, they call it sum types, because you're just sort of adding up, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to do this. You might think of them as unions or subclasses, kind of, if you don't really subclass, but, you might think of it as breaking things apart. So unique representations of things. So We have 5 different kinds of puzzle. The no puzzle, which has nothing in it, does nothing. Dialogue puzzle has the drop downs and you can answer it. Answers puzzle was the multi combo, the box turned green when we answered it. The order puzzle, we rearrange the order of lines, and the combo puzzle, we choose which ones are in or out and we see what happens. Okay, and each of those has their own specific things. I'll just take combo puzzle. It's one of the more complicated ones, so it's representative and also more complex. All right, it has a list of items. It has a list of reactions. What do you do for each combination of items? And it has an answer because there's a pattern you have to guess. Okay, so we have a default puzzle that just has some randomish stuff in it. You don't normally use that. It's just handy for testing. You can get the reaction for that corresponds to a puzzle, and so this is saying which items have you selected. You give us a list of guesses basically, and which combo puzzle it is, and we'll find your items. We'll figure out their order number. We'll concatenate them all together. So it's like if you chose 0 and 1, you'd get 0, 1. And then we'll look that up in the room description. And then we can answer, is this puzzle solved? And it is if your guess matches the puzzle answer. All right. And all the others are like that, but simpler. Okay. And let's go back up to message. So this, recall, is the command stuff coming in. So load a game, given a model. Well, we update with the current, the starting room from this new game, and we plug in the new game. You haven't solved anything or anything like that extra, but that's all we do. And then command none says there's no further work to do with this command. Okay, let me go down a bit. I take guess ordering because we looked at that one earlier. Okay, so guess ordering, we give a couple of ints. The position is which one are you rearranging, 0, 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. The distance is either plus or minus 1. Are you swapping it up or down? And the model. And then given this guess ordering call, let's go back up here. Order move up, order move down, they both call guess ordering, plus or minus 1. Okay. Given that you had this command, we only know how to work with order puzzles. Okay. Any other kind of puzzle, this command doesn't make sense. We'll just kind of return what we started with. All right. And then finally, let's look at the view. Probably the starting point of interest is here. You have all sections of the thing. Give us the model. We're going to produce the HTML. Well, it's going to be a bunch of things. It's the scene, which is the image and starting the top image and top description. Then there may be a puzzle, okay? And there will be a puzzle because it could be a no puzzle. We'll show that. We will, if it applies, if we have visible exits, we'll show the exits, okay? If this is a move down level and you've got enough keys, enough solutions, we will move, let you see this section to move down. And same thing, end of game. If you're at the end of the game, we'll have a way to show it. Okay, so let's take some of those. Show puzzle. You got the dialogues. We're going to show some dialogues, and then you're going to guess. The order puzzle we call ordering. Okay, each one's got its own thing, but let's just skip around. Ordering puzzle. Okay, we know the puzzle. We know the model. All right, let's get the length of the puzzle. We'll make a guess. And then what we'll show is a table, and it's got a map. It's a listing of the ordered items, basically the items you haven't selected and the items you have selected. Okay, and the scrambled items shows kind of the picture, the corresponding picture. And then at the end, we check if you haven't solved it, we give you one message. If you have, we give you a different message. Okay, and let's go down to scrambled. Order puzzle, not scrambled. I guess we looked at that one already. So yeah, it does the scrambling for us. Okay. Um, and all the others, they have their own custom, what are they showing? Okay, here's the doors section. We got revealed exits and hidden exits, and we decide whether we should show any or not. We make the list of both of them, which could be empty there. And then we turn those into buttons that have the little thumbnails on them. Okay. So it's it's been a good sized project for me to try and really do some Elm with. So I've enjoyed enjoyed that. And I'm really happy the deployment wasn't too horribly painfully painful. um, and I think with that we're officially done. I'll stay online and keep editing images and stuff like that. But thanks for joining me so far, and hope I catch you in the future. Next time will be this coming Friday, so that's the 14th, if I'm counting right, and 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern time again. So I think what I'm doing, I've got a bunch of ideas, and I think I'll either pick one or we'll do quick spike. Like, I don't know, I've got 5 or 6 ideas. We'll do 20 minutes each and just spike them and see how they go, maybe, and go from there. Yeah, so I think that'll be a nice change. And then by Sunday, I'll have picked an actual project, and we'll go from there. All right. So if you can't bear to watch a non-artist draw, then this is a good time to go. But you're welcome to stay. All right, so I will just edit the images in place, and that way I can run my deployment command, or at least preparation command, and do the stuff. Okay, so one thing I said was 1B, the picture is just too big. Okay, so can I show in Finder? What size are you anyway? Oh yeah. What size are you? Well, 2/3 that size. I don't know if that's the issue, but 1800. All right, let's drag that in here. All right, so let's trim some off the bottom there. We'll crop it to content, and then let's scale it. 2200, 3200. Maybe the height is what I should be worried about. The height of this one? 1057. Let's call it 1000. Okay. Scale, and we'll save back over top of it. Now, I got to tell you, this is where I'm really puzzled. Okay, prototype. Okay, I edited that, and it's not showing the edits. So what it tells me is Elm is caching things somewhere, and I don't know where. Okay, because it's obviously not picking up. Okay, let me try a reload. I don't know if I hard reload. Yeah, that's just not looking like it got edited. So you would think maybe, okay, let's try that. It's 1B gold.gif and the finder. Okay, that's my deploy. That's my one I'm working with. And my to deploy. Okay, that's the 3 places I would expect to look. But let's go back to HostGator. Okay, go up a level. 1B gold, 115K. Notice the one I edited is only 18K. Okay, so I'm gonna do an upload a file. I'm gonna pull in 1B gold, the tiny one. Do I want to overwrite? Yes. Okay, now I go over here, hard reload. We'll take prototype and that. Okay. Oh, he's still big. Okay, I'm going to do one of these little tricky things. 1, 2, 3. That's still not. Okay, what about caches? Maybe it's my fault if I haven't done the empty caches. Okay, now I can't be sure. Maybe there's something in the way I'm formatting this. Okay, let's tackle it at the HTML level and see if that does anything different. Now, maybe 1,000. Is this wrong? Yes, it's this wrong. Okay, because I don't have to scroll on the first page. Okay, so I know this one is a certain height. Okay, let's make the height. Let's edit the CSS, I guess. Image width 60%. What if I say, well, okay, just saying image, there's too many images kicking around. I'm gonna have to be more specific. Okay, view. I want the scene. Class equals main image. Okay, let's see what we can do there. I don't even use it. Okay. Dot main image. Let's say height is 1,000 pixels and see if there's any change. Okay, I'll do that here. Hard reload. Oh. Oh. So it's forced it to 1,000 pixels, but it squished it. Okay, let's look up some scaling stuff. Yes, I want to preserve the original aspect ratio, like almost everybody all the time. Use the background image. No. Okay, they're giving the width and the height. Object fit Do I want scale down? Contain or none? Contain at least keeps the thing. None does not resize. Well, I probably want contain, right? So let's try this. Declared height is taller than the scaled down height. All right, let's give it a shot. No, that's not making me happy either. Because it's got the vertical space around it now. Max width, that sounds more like what I want. Original. Oh, maybe I want max height and width auto. Well, let me try making it a little smaller and see if I like it still. Okay, and let's see what happens in that room. I think I can go even smaller and still be pretty happy. Yeah, that's better. Let me try like 650. And it does seem to be scaling the way I want it scaled, so that's cool. Okay. 650. Yeah, maybe even 600. I guess we'll go more dramatic, 500. Yeah. And I guess I'm just looking to see if any pictures look like they're a size that is unbearable. I don't know. That looks okay. That looks okay. They're a touch small, aren't they? Let's try 550. Yeah, that's better. He doesn't have a lot of doors. He was an adapter. Oh, secret hallway. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy. Okay. I don't know if I did anything, but okay. Let's deal with another one. 1E. Picture too big. Well, he looked pretty good. It's the ear horn guy. That's all right. 1J, names and lines. let's do it this way. Okay, and then I'll do some trimming. Let's get him smaller. Actually, it wouldn't hurt to trim a bit more like that. Image, cropped content. All right, and let's see what that looks like. Sorry, let me just hide 1 minute. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. We want to see 1J, so let's modify our dungeon so that you go to 1J, and we'll reload this. Okay, so you can see there's the line at the bottom and the 1J. All right, let's go to our GIMP, and we'll save this. 1J birds, yes. Export, yes. Replace. Okay, and now, see, I got those lines again. All right, if I empty caches, I can't tell where it's cached. Ah, it is in the browser. Okay, good to know. Let's see, 1J, 2M. Oh, also 1H. Okay, let's edit this. One H, 1J was birds. I think that one's okay. Now, 2M has lines. Yes, it does. All right. Wrong. Let me take a little off the top here too. To F. Well, I've certainly got speckles. I don't see the line. lost it. Okay. 2F with GIMP. I'm sorry if I'm being confused on this, but I'm a little confused. Empty cache. No, it looks like that is still there. Did I leave it uncropped and that's the only issue? I don't know. I would love to erase these, but my experience with erasing has not been so good. Let's try filter, despeckle. Oh, that's adding noise. It's reduction. I don't see much going on there. No, I don't see much difference. Okay, we'll cancel that. Two F has a line candle. Okay. 2K has the name in a line. I can't quite see the line. Just on the bottom. Nope. Don't want that. Actually, we chopped off some of the top. I think that's a little better. Okay. Export. And yeah, it's past 3 o'clock. I'm going to keep going for a few more minutes, get these things finished and published, and call it a day at that point. Okay, export. Place. Export. That was 2K, then 2G. I guess again, there's a line on the bottom. 2G. 2L. Well, maybe what I should do L robots. Okay, we'll get out of this. Don't think we need that. Actually, we did. Image. Okay, so I don't need these. Let's make sure this gets back to 1A. All right, and this, and now I want back to images. Okay, so let's move this. Images. And I wasn't really paying attention which ones changed or didn't. I guess, oh, I can see today. All right. Gold. Yes. Didn't I edit 1E? These three. Oh, 1E I said was okay. All right. Wouldn't change any of those inside. Yeah, none of those changed. And those were okay. All right. So let's do a reload on this. Empty the caches. Hard reload. Okay. I'm just going to work my way through a bit, make sure things look kind of plausible. Nuts. Oh, I just updated DNP.css. Wherever that got off to. Obviously it's not in images. This needs to go up. dungeon today at 3:05. I think I just put it back, but just in case. I mean, somewhere we added 2C as another doorway somewhere, but all right. Reload again. I guess I'm going to empty caches again, just to be clear. Perfect. Okay. Clerk, ear horn, looks good. All right. I think we'll call it a wrap there for today. I'm very happy with where we are. And let's see, I guess we'll leave this message the same, but we'll push some files. All right. Thanks again for joining me. And again, we'll do it Friday the 14th, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And take care. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.